Hello.
Write it.
Welcome. Can you believe it? We are on time. Mark your calendars. August 8th, 2024. It may never, ever happen again. But hello. Welcome to a brand new 5 Heart podcast live on YouTube, Facebook, and X. I'm your host, Greg Mahachko, the co-host, my friend, Minnie Hunt. Hello, Minnie. How are you doing tonight?
Hey, Greg. I'm great. And just so you know, some people say that if you are early, you're actually on time. And if you're on time, you're late.
Yeah, I don't like those people. Also, here, it's starting... We start on time, so Linda assumes that I haven't been drinking. It says, have not started drinking, I would guess.
Well, she's probably right.
She's right, but that's not the point.
I knew it. That is the point.
Is she's coming. She's not pulling any punches again. Like, what did I do to deserve?
We just know you, Greg.
You just know me. Well, if I'm going to be taking abuse for the next 2.5 hours, because that's how long this show goes now.
No, it doesn't. Oh, no.
Oh, yeah. And we're going to leave this one up to the viewers once again. Now, Linda, don't
Please
worry.
Tell me you don't have any...
No blueberry beers.
Oh, thank goodness.
I have Yuengling, and I have one that might be my closest tie-in to Nebraska yet. So obviously, Yuengling here. That's option one. Josh and others were so kind to inform me last week that the state flower of the state of Nebraska is the goldenrod. Now, I don't have any of that, but I do have a Golden Road, which is a Belgian white beer. And this is out of... Los Angeles, California.
Oh.
And also Cartersville, Georgia. So
interesting.
So these are our options. These are our options, boys and girls. Yuengling or the Golden Road.
Clay says, I do not drink anymore. I also don't drink any less.
That's fair. That's fair. Justin says, follow the yellow brick road. So, and Linda says, sounds like a New York City beer.
Oh, New York City.
That's the old Pace Picante. Yeah. What's Jason Reeves got to say there?
Jason Reeves.
Many for criminy's sakes.
For crime. Have a glass of wine. A glass of wine. It's a little early here. It's
not. It's 7:00. It's afternoon. It's fine. All right. So here we have the Golden Road Belgian wheat. They said it's a twist off. There we go. With the assistance of a Corn Nation.
I was just
shirt.
I
didn't wear it last week.
No, you did.
No, I wore it 2 weeks ago.
No, you wore it last week, Greg.
No, I wore my... When did I thought I wore my red polo last week.
Oh, that's right. You did. But you did wear it twice in 1 week.
I wore it 3 times in 1 week.
In the last 14 days, I've seen that shirt 3 times.
And you know what, though? For tonight's occasion, I pulled it right out of the dryer. So it's clean. It's dry. I'm happy. Golden Road Belgian White, made with real oranges. 5% ABV.
Actually kind of good. Has vitamin C.
There's a nice label. A little sunset over the Pacific Coast. Not bad. Probably not as heavy as other Belgian whites like Blue Moon. So, not bad. I don't know if I'd go grabbing it, out off the shelf next time around, but for tonight's purposes, it'll do. Minnie, you've had a tremendous week. I know this for a fact.
How do you know?
It feels like you're giving off tremendous week aura.
It's so true. You got my aura. Is it scarlet and cream?
I'm not going to answer that question. I feel uncomfortable already. 6 minutes into the show.
You're the one who was talking about my aura.
I was also bullshitting. It's what I do.
I've also I don't think I've ever had anyone comment on my aura before, but thank you.
You're welcome. So anyway, how has your week been?
How was your week? My week's been good. How's your week been?
I've got one of the twins down with a unknown virus, and I had to stay home today, and I'll probably have to stay home tomorrow. But outside of that, 2 thumbs up.
Good.
So
good.
I am ready for what's going to be a 2.5 to 3 hour show, because we have lots. There's no way.
You have a lot.
There is no way that 2 pages of notes are condensed into just 5 sections. I don't believe it.
You know why? I took your advice and I deleted the introduction and the ending.
That's smart. That's smart. And I'll be honest with you, nobody cares about the introduction ending anyway. They don't care about us. They're just here for the Husker content. It's just, yeah. Josh Hansen says 16-hour show, baby. He wants us to spend an hour on every subsection from Section 3's open practice. That's what Josh wants.
Me too.
You want a 16-hour show. If I'm still sitting here at 1 o'clock in the afternoon from a 16-hour show, because that's how time works, I'm going to be very displeased.
Why? You're the one who's asking for it. Well, can we get on with it then? We have a lot to discuss, Greg.
No, I want you to read Linda's comment, because I need a little boost. I need a little. You got to read it out loud. It's the fun. This is an audio show.
Okay.
So also,
I need to know, before I read this out loud, how many times did you refer back to your screenshot of Linda's comment last week? This week, how many times did you look at it and say, yes, I am good looking?
Less than 5. And you know what? I probably needed more because I still don't believe it. So
Linda Welkins says, Greg, you know I come for the people, but stay for your good looks.
That's what I needed to hear tonight. That's how we start the show off right. So Josh says, get hyped 23 days till first game. I'm a little dyslexic. That's why I read it out of order. So, and before we get, I think it's important. I know you wanted to mention this. People were hungry for today's show.
Insane.
Our good friend, Justin Raji, woke up, got on YouTube, saw at 6:39 a.m. Central, God's favorite time zone, first. And before noon, I don't know how well this will play on your little screens there. Minnie took this screenshot. We had four comments before noon. And we couldn't do that without all of you.
That's a lot.
Like Linda says, you come here for the people and you stay for my...
We do.
Yeah, I appreciate I'll take it. Then we got the early conversation in the chat before the chat started talking about Vidalia onions and onion rings. What's your go-to onion for onion rings, Minnie?
I mean, this is just going to be one more reason that you guys give me a hard time. I don't eat onions.
At all?
No. I know. Sorry. Okay, what's your onion of choice?
Probably Vidalia. Fred says when life gives Highlander onions, he makes onion rings. When he gives them to when life gives Fred onions, he throws them at Justin. So TSD was in early. Aaron Keene. I can hardly wait to get the most recent status report on Operation Chain Gang from Special Agent Minnie.
Oh, yeah. Look at his awesome picture, his profile picture.
He's a Viking, I'm pretty sure.
I like that look.
Like I don't know that for a fact, but I have a pretty good feeling that Aaron's a Viking. Confirm or deny in the comments, Aaron. It's completely up to you. TSD says my corn cob is fully husked and I'm drinking the big red Kool-Aid.
Me too.
That is exactly how our corn cobs should be. Properly husked and the Kool-Aid gone.
The Rhule-Aid.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, I'm trying to figure out which one would get the cease and desist first. Calling it, continuing to use Kool-Aid or the Rhule-Aid. Jason Reeves was here before and was warming up. Fred responds to Aaron Minnie's the 007 of Husker stalking. Need to make that into a shirt that the University and James Bond take down.
Yes.
I could just see it now. The eyes in the corn that look like zeros and then a 7 next to it. But I think we're getting into territory I don't know if we necessarily need to dip into. Well, David Matney's here. My goodness. Out of the gate, and Greg gets in trouble. Living in Omaha, David Matney, the official realtor of the 5 Heart podcast. All I have to say is if you're looking to buy a new home in the Omaha area, you need to check out Living in Omaha, David Matney, the official realtor. Tell him that we sent you, and maybe someday I'll get that sweet, sweet Living in Omaha, David Matney can or bottle coolie someday. Just saying. You should hand them out at open houses. I mean, I'm doing the marketing for you. You have to invest in your business. You can't. You have to be a businessman, not play a businessman. That's all I got to say. Linda wants to know if onions upset your tummy.
They do not. At least I don't think they do. When I was pregnant with my second child, I was so sick off of the smell of onions or lilac. So I can't stomach either one of those things. That's the problem, even to this day.
I think it's. By the way, do you blame your second child for that? Like for not being able to enjoy? Yeah. Okay. And the reason there's a line of questions that or context. So I've not really been shy about this. I'm Catholic, been Catholic all my life. Both my parents are Catholic. And there's that kind of stereotype of like Catholic drinkers, yada, yada, yada. Since I was born, my mom has not been able to drink alcohol. She's allergic to dogs, to cats, most types of chocolate, to peaches, all this biochemical change that manifested after she doesn't say it. I joke, but I'm like, I think I ruined your life, Mom. I'm sorry. She always says, oh no, so.
Well, I can live without onions. It's all right.
So, hey, we got a show, and we're going to get into it now that the intro
goodness.
Portion. Did you say thank goodness or my goodness?
I did.
Minnie's allergic to restraining orders, is what Fred says.
Fred.
Keep them away.
No.
Josh says, oh, great. Another life ruined by Craig. Thank you. And TSD says, I was born radioactive. So never mind me's on time-ish this time, so we don't have to since we haven't officially started the show, never mind me, we don't have to recap everything for you.
Thank goodness.
Jason says, Greg, I'm so sorry. It's not your fault, man. I don't know what we do if I couldn't get Mom lit up through the holidays. Good times. All right. it has been a not. Well, I'm getting out of. All right, not a great week in Nebraska injury news, Minnie.
Oh gosh, no, it hasn't, Greg. It hasn't. We found out that, well, I mean, everyone knows Teddy Prohazka is now out,
Yep.
as well as I think that you must have skipped a section.
No, I think you skipped deception.
What?
I said it's not been a great start to the week for for injuries.
This is what happens when I don't.
You jumped right to B. And does Nebraska seem to be plagued by injuries even before we even play a game? We're a little redundant with our wording, but I think it really emphasizes the fact that we may be plagued with injuries even before we even play an even game. Sorry, I'm such a shit.
You are bad. I'd like to see your outline. I'd like to see your notes.
You want to see my notes from last night's show with Haas and Nate?
Yeah.
Hey guys, it's 9:30. Well, let's get this done.
Nice notes. Okay. Injury rates regular season. Oh, this is right. This is what I wanted to. Okay. This is actually really important. I was looking this up because I thought we would all want to know this. Harvard did a study on college football injuries, Division I, and they found out injuries were equally distributed between offensive and defensive players. The proportion of injuries was highest in defensive backs at 19%, defensive linemen at 18%, and offensive linemen at 15%. They also said, this is the thing that got me the most. Basically, if you have contact during practice, obviously you're more inclined to get an injury as opposed to game time. But if you don't have the contact, remember Scott Frost, he stopped tackling in practice. There's actually some logic behind. There's some logic to that. If you don't have the injury, if you don't have the contact in practice, you won't have the injuries, but then you'll get them during the game.
Yeah, we talk a little bit about that. Spoiler for when the last coordination overreaction revisited of the offseason drops tomorrow. Nate, Haas, and I do discuss, and the consensus is that contact in practice is better. It gets the body prepared for the collisions that they're going to face in the season. It's an interesting statistic, and by Harvard, you said, if proportionally injuries are going to happen either way. I think, and again, I'm not yay injuries, but I think I'd rather have it in the game. At least that way you get some. You get the. This is going to make the football players sound like assets rather than people, but like you get some production out of them. But I think if you're the player, man, like there's some glory to either like walking off the field after an injury or being carted off the field, depending on the severity, rather, in front of a stadium of 86, 90,000, whatever fans, or, hey, medic, coach, trainer, we got, and then limping off the practice field in front of staff and supports. I don't know. Give me the game time injury. If they're going to happen, give it to me in the game time.
Yeah.
It's
so
I mean,
it's essentially
it's not ballet, at the end of the day, it's a physical game. Injuries happen. Pick your poison, I guess.
And for the most part, they'll happen to lower extremities. That's what they said.
Absolutely not a surprise. I'm
so I can see why Matt Rhule wants to go to natural grass. Anything you can do to help, take off that percentage.
Well, it's funny you say that because Colt Bundy says we need that natural grass.
That's right.
But Josh Hansen, being the smartass that he is, says Teddy's injury actually happened on natural grass. So
it's true. It's true. Yeah.
I think there has to be some consistency on the types of surfaces that these guys are playing on. I don't know. It's just me. I'm just one man.
That's actually a good point, Greg. Why aren't you in charge at the NCAA over there?
I drove past their offices when I was in Indianapolis a few weeks ago. I thought about dropping over my resume. Be like, hey, if you guys need help, I'm your man. Well, you know how the NFL skewed all the rules to favor Tom Brady? Well, just all the rules favor Nebraska. You have to call holding on Iowa, on Purdue, on Minnesota, on Wisconsin every time, or not every, like when it's blatant. Like you at least have to throw the flag. So Aaron Keene says Harvard did a study on college football injuries, something knee circumference. Always great for those callbacks.
Funny.
Living in Omaha, David Matney, the official realtor of the 5 Heart podcast, says it shows the team's giving max effort in practice. You don't get hurt when you don't tackle.
It's true. It's true. And you don't know how to tackle if you don't tackle in practice. We found that out the hard way.
Minnie, we need to stop the show right now. Not like the show's not going anywhere. We need to point out a first timer.
What?
JBJ, John Bernard Jr., hi, Minnie and Greg, longtime watcher, first time chatter. John, welcome to the Chatterfields.
Hey.
We are a growing family, and welcome. If you've been watching us long enough, pretty much no holds barred. The more ridiculous of a comment, the more likely it is that I'm going to put it on the screen. And if you say that I'm good looking, that's just going to get you a lot of points. But
that is welcome. So awesome.
Welcome. Thank you for, sometimes it's just, hey, got to find that right timing or, awesome. Awesome.
Fred
welcome to the
Sacco
show.
Says, welcome JBJ. I was going to call him JBJ. I bet a lot of people call him JBJ.
Sorry in advance for what you may see. Jason Reeves says, hey, John Bernard Jr., welcome to the party, good sir. JBJ. Yeah, again, it is we do condense a lot of names. For example, Tiger Shark Diver is only once in a while Tiger Shark Diver, and then it's usually TSD. Linda, getting back on topic, Linda says either way it sucks, whether it's turf, whether it's grass. And that brought a part of kind of a bigger conversation that I wanted to, kind of bring about is, TSD says Teddy may consider retiring. 3 season-ending injuries is not good.
Yeah.
Let's see. Linda says Teddy's just not built well. I mean, it's tough. It's
he's like 6'10".
Yeah, it's Fred's pissed. What the fuck? Why didn't Dylan lay hands on Teddy's ACL and just fix it? Did Teddy insult his hairdo? I mean, he does look like a shaved llama,
Who?
Who do you think? Your golden boy.
He does not.
He does. I mean, it's all up here like the llama. Have you ever seen a llama?
Jealous. You are so jealous.
Why? Because I
so jealous of his hair. I know. It's obvious.
Do you realize that I've been keeping my hair short for years on purpose? Because unlike your golden boy with the golden arm, I'm low maintenance. Mm-hmm. I'm not fancy. Look at me. Look at my house. Look at my boob light that came with the house. Okay, I'm not pretentious. I don't put gel mousse or activator or whatever the hell it is in his hair. That's not me. All right. I sometimes, to save money, will clip my own hair. It's fine. It's fine. I don't care. The less shampoo I use, the better. All right?
Oh, my gosh.
Golden boy.
All right.
Moose in his
He has great hair.
moose.
That's all I'm saying. Great hair.
Oh, I have gray hair, so, you know.
No, you have gray hair. He has great hair.
Fred says, Minnie will chant JBJ till you say you don't like Dylan. So,
Everyone likes Dylan.
He's fine. Linda said, you know, this will be Teddy's 4th major surgery.
I know, poor kid.
So, old man Craig yelling at clouds, that's what I do.
So this is a different knee than his last injury. He's out for the whole season.
You're missing the comment that's on the screen right now.
Greg, I refuse to read these. I don't know why she's just buttering you up.
Because she, you know, it's levels that last week she beat the crap out of me, you know, and you know, for my your choice, right or wrong, I don't know, we're indifferent, I don't care. You know, she started out accusing me of, I think, being drunk. We're saying maybe I have a problem. So there's balance. It's balance, you know. It's okay if I'm a drunk as long as I'm a good-looking drunk. So.
Okay.
Thank you.
So can we talk about Teddy some more? You want to throw a picture of him up?
Yes, I do. I have that. And you have that
I'm
also.
a little quicker than you. Poor Greg. Just sit back and look
my reaction
good.
times. I can do that. All right. I'm gonna lay out. Minnie's got the rest of the show. I'll just pop in here to there.
Don't you dare. Don't you dare. Okay.
Hold on. I got to take another phone call.
So he came back from last season for 10 games, Teddy. He stepped in for Turner Corcoran at left tackle when Turner got injured with his season-ending injury with his foot. So now we have to look to see who is going to be taking his place. And we have some of that information for you because Rhule told us that Turner Corcoran, you can change the picture now.
I'm looking forward to it, boss. Thank you.
He was actually running with the ones anyways. What does this say? Fred Sacco, Greg's head stubble wasn't great till Minnie became a panelist. Just saying, he's actually right.
I know he is.
Start turning gray.
No, all this added stress.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
I don't disagree with TSD here. There were times, you know, that Turner wasn't quite adequate enough at that left tackle spot last year. You know, I'm not saying that Teddy was going to be the guy. I feel like the guy is maybe 2 years away, if I'm being honest. Unless there was a transfer portal coming in, I think maybe we're about 2 years away from really solidifying that left tackle spot. I hope I'm wrong, obviously.
I think you're wrong.
I'm not going to say that, Fred.
I think you're wrong because, you know, there's a totally different quarterback there now that is going to be able to actually work as a quarterback. So I think that makes a big difference.
Two comments here. Linda says, Minnie, your boy's not going to fare well with TC on the left. And kind of piggybacking on that, we'll get to a positive one immediately after this. Jason says, damn it, Turnstile Corcoran belongs inside. But Josh says, Josh is hyped up. He's ready. And I'm ready to sit with him and watch the Huskers in a month. But he says, in response to TSD, we all wrote off Bryce Benhart as well. I'll trust in Rhule and Raiola till we see others. By the way, he's talking not about Dylan, but about Donovan.
We knew that.
You have to specify with you because really in your mind, there's only one Raiola. Until Dayton gets on campus and there's
Dayton's playing tonight.
And you're here and you're not watching that?
I know. Wonder how it's going over there in Georgia.
I do like Jason's comment here. Can't we buy a left tackle? You could if you've been buying that sweet pipeline jerky. I don't have the package because I finished my pipeline jerky months ago.
Support obviously. The 1890.
So, all right. What's the other alternative besides Turner Corcoran?
Gunnar Gatula. And no, I don't have a picture of him.
That's okay. Nobody's perfect.
But I have a lot of pictures, Greg.
I know. You did a tremendous job.
Thank you. So another injury that we had was 4-star freshman Roger Gradney, linebacker.
I do want to say before we move on, Vince Watson. Hello, Vince. Welcome back. You're here all the time, but Rhule said redshirt freshman Gunnar Gatula has been working at left tackle with the number one offense already. So we'll see. We'll see.
That
all right,
sounds
I'm sorry.
Good.
Yeah, moving on to the redshirt freshman, you said, or true freshman?
True freshman.
That's right.
He got here in January though,
yeah.
as an early enrollee. Yep. And he tore his ACL on Saturday. So he's out for the season as well.
That is a ball buster.
Roger Gradney. Remember him in your prayers.
And I remember he was one that we were very excited about at signing day, 8 months ago.
Is this number 2 already?
Yes. But I only have 3 cold ones. So
30 minutes in, Greg. 30.
I'm not saying I have a problem. I'm just saying beer's delicious. Couple commenters here. Joseph says, wonder if Grant Brix gets tossed into the frying pan sooner. TSD kind of wonders the same. Maybe he can be ready next year. Look, I'll be honest with you. Offensive line is in the Big Ten is not a freshman spot unless it's that, out of this world type. I'm sure they come along once in a while. I would hesitate to throw Grant Brix out there right away. Maybe next year, let him continue to, because he's tall, but he needs to get that college size on him. So that would be my recommendation.
Yeah,
if they were asking me, they were not.
Again, they should. Yep. TSD wants to know, isn't Dayton a lefty? He sure is.
And Aaron Keene says, don't worry, Minnie's collecting drone footage on Dayton. So she can go back and examine, like game film and show him where his weaknesses are in their weekly Zoom meeting. So, Jack, you really need to push off that back foot a little bit more, Dayton. You're never gonna secede your brother. We're never gonna have this Raiola lineage if you can't. Yeah, I don't know. It's just bullshit at this point.
All right. Hey, I just want to add another thing about Turner Corcoran. He was a highly recruited player for us. And I was looking this up. Since the beginning of the century, do you know right now we have 6 players on our roster that have been recruited by Nebraska that are the top players that have been recruited by Nebraska? So 6 out of 22 top players. Currently, there's 6. Does that make sense? Turner Corcoran was number 9 since the beginning of the century.
Yeah. No, I think Bryce Benhart was the top kid out of Minnesota at the time. So there's another one. There had to be probably somebody good coming out of Georgia last year who would have been better than DR. Depending on what state he wanted to clarify.
Nobody's better than DR. Oh. No, I'm saying on our roster right now.
Right. 6 of the 22 Am I understanding that right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Top players. So I'll just go ahead and give them to you. Grant Bricks at number 22. Thomas Fedoni at number 21.
Oh, we're coming back.
Then what? Then we have Malachi Coleman at number 15, which was Rhule's recruit last year. We have Carter Nelson at number 11. Turner Corcoran at number 9. What?
Confused by the numbering.
And Dylan Raiola at number 2. This is going by their PFF.
Okay.
And if
I thought you were, I full disclosure, I thought that when you said that, since the turn of the century, turn of the millennium, the last 24 years, Nebraska has had 22 players who were the number one players in their state, and that 6 of them are on thing. So I thought you were counting down Grant Bricks, Thomas Fedoni, whomever. I just thought you were counting down the last 6. I didn't know you were putting them in there. Okay. I'm
but you're right. We've had a lot of those too. Like a lot. Probably 22 just in this last recruiting. I mean, that's what we look for. Okay.
Tiger Shark Diver says Tommy Hill was also rated top 5 in PFF for quarterbacks. And I saw a graphic that said that like he was in there as far as like freaks on the watch or something like that for Nebraska. He was one of a couple players that they're like really keep an eye on Tommy Hill this year.
Oh, wasn't he a transfer?
That's entirely possible. You don't mind me looking that up, do you?
Not at all.
And
I'm wondering why I don't see him. It's a great point.
I only have the best points.
And Teddy, poor Teddy. He had a PFF of 88.
He's a senior from Orlando, Florida. Okay. Is Tommy Hill. He was at Arizona State. Yeah.
Yep. That's why.
That's why he doesn't. Great question. So.
Okay. Well, now that we covered Turner's potential.
We even went, by the way, mini went off format.
Because I thought that was a good point. People forget how highly touted he was as a recruit.
I do like Aaron's comment here. Getting top recruits is great. Retaining them is even better. So
it's true.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, it's that time of the show. It's my favorite time of the show. It's housekeeping, and it's our time to honor this fan family that we've put together. We thank you. I don't know if you have realized this, but in the last week, it finally happened. The Corn Nation YouTube channel has finally eclipsed 10,000 subscribers. Y'all are great. You deserve a round of applause for, I think last week I said, everybody bring a friend. And clearly that's exactly what happened. So to celebrate that, when I see as many of you as possible on September 7th, the Colorado game, I'm bringing Yingling.
And how much? Cases?
I'm planning on bringing cases. Like I'm bringing a case for Josh. I'm bringing a case for Haas and probably another 4 cases for the people.
And you just need to bring me one.
That's fine. So Fred says 10K. You'd only be 9,999 without me. We appreciate that. Aaron Keene says 38 viewers and only 13 likes. Don't practice mini math chat. Smack that like.
Smack that like.
I don't know. That's an Akon song, right? Smack that.
Yeah, I was waiting for that.
20 some odd years old now. Also, while we're talking about the Colorado weekend, I've been working with some of the other people from Corn Nation. We are planning a very casual get together Friday night. So, as soon as details are for sure, because there's a lot going on because it's September, so it's Oktoberfest. Haven't figured that one out quite exactly yet, but so a lot of places are celebrating Oktoberfest. But yeah, the plan is to get together, see as many of you beautiful people as possible on Friday, and whatever becomes of Saturday becomes. So look forward to more of those details hopefully by next week. TSD says Minnie drinks virgin mimosas.
That just made me laugh. Do you know what's in a mimosa?
It's like orange juice and something, right?
Champagne.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
There's only 2 things in a mimosa.
So do your part if you're watching this right now, and make sure that you hit that like button. Subscribe if you haven't already, and most of you obviously have, and we appreciate it. And ring that bell for notifications so that you too can be jumping onto YouTube at 6:39 in the morning, just like Justin Raji, so that you can try to be first, because I'm pretty sure that's the only way he knew to do it. So do all those things, and it just I'm not going to bring that up. John has books. This is one of them. I keep my copy handy for such an occasion. Been dead, never been to Europe. Tremendous read, quick read, which is good because I have the attention span of a gnat. So, yeah, check that out and all of John's other books over on YouTube. And I think, double check. Oh, how could I forget? I got this shirt, copycorn.com, and you can get sweet shirts just like it. I've got 2 more shirts on the way, Minnie. I'm going to be copycorned out all weekend long in September.
Oh, great. What ones did you get? Do we?
I got hashtag RTFB.
Okay.
And I got secure your balls.
Nice.
And that's it. Try to all in red.
So now you're going to have to do what I do. You're going to have a whole load of just red clothes.
Is that a thing?
Wash. Yeah. When you're a Husker fan, you have to have a load of reds.
No, I mean, are you, from a laundry standpoint, is that a concern of like losing the color, or, I mean, I've been doing laundry for 30 years, but I just put, the only thing I separate out are like socks and undershirts and like that. I don't even want to say it. I don't want to be accused of racism. But you got the 2 loads. You got the and you got the and you don't want the pink socks. You know what I'm saying? So.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't.
That's what. Yes.
This is what.
That's why. But if you wash like anything with light colors, it'll bleed onto the light colors. So I've even had like jeans accidentally, get something red on them. So you just want reds by themselves.
I will keep
They're
that
special.
And you know what? When I'm rocking these sweet copycorn red shirts, I'll make sure that I throw my vintage. I appreciate that, but I'm gonna put my vintage Nebraska Herbie Husker shirt in there as well, because it's all red.
You probably don't want.
It's all red.
You don't want to wash it on hot either. FYI.
I do those in cold water. Thank you. I do my socks and undershirts in hot water with just a skosh.
TMI. Don't need to know how you wash those.
Socks and undershirts? What do you think I said?
Yuck. Okay.
Shirts? Sock? Like,
moving on.
What are you talking about? Why are you making it weird?
Because you said
undershirts. Because like I wear suits and dress shirts, and I always have a white undershirt, like a Hanes basic nothing white undershirt. Now you're gonna get me in trouble because I said white. Anyway, hey, you know what? Distraction. Here's a picture of cute Greg as a kid. Yay!
That is cute.
Nothing's ever changed.
Cute picture.
So, all right. That's.
So open practice was held August 3rd, and there were 3,500 fans in attendance. Greg, go ahead.
I also got RTFB. We can't both wear them to the game, Greg. I said, well, first of all, either we can and be twins, or I guess that means I'm going to wear my Secure Your Balls to the game. And I'm fine either way. You know what? You know what probably is also going to make its way into Lincoln Memorial Stadium? Do you know? Do you know, Minnie?
Mm-hmm. I do.
Yeah, because it's evening game. We want to have us a little bit of fun. Where's the damn power button? There we go. Be rocking these. Yeah. Should I turn the light off and get the full?
Everyone around you will be like, what's that squealing noise? Where's that coming from?
It's gone. What are you talking about? See, I don't think Linda was here for the glasses back in the past. Like, I only wear these on special occasions. So.
Okay. You're worried about getting lost, are you?
I'm definitely worried. Can I just do the rest of the show like this, Minnie, or will you yell at me and judge me and shame me for that too?
Actually, I don't mind.
Okay, cool.
I think it's kind of a good look. It actually makes you look way cooler than you are.
It's very low bar to jump over. Thank you.
It kind of makes you look like you have the Dylan haircut, like you're short on the sides.
That's all right. The lights are going back on now. I can take a lot of things, but I'm not going to be compared to him. What a disgrace.
But that's what you look like.
Never wearing those again. Ugh. Hi, Melissa. How are you doing? It's great to see you.
Hi, Melissa. 3,500 fans in attendance. And the reason they had the open practice on Saturday is because they were trying to raise money for the 1890 initiative. So
do you remember what ticket prices were to get in?
$25.
That's not bad.
No, not at all. And I think they raised somewhere around $90,000.
Is that mini math?
No, it's not mini math. It's just somebody said it, and so I'm repeating it. I didn't do the math.
So 25 a ticket times 3,500 is 87,500.
There you go. So maybe people donated a little. Really?
That's great, Vince. That's great. All right. TSD says in regards to the amounts that were brought in is hopefully Matt Davison doesn't spend it all on Busch Light and Golden Tea.
Is that the beer you were drinking?
No, Golden Road.
Oh, Golden Road.
Golden Tea? Do you not know what Golden Tea is?
Huh.
Have you ever been in a bar?
I have, but I'm not a beer drinker.
No, it doesn't.
Is it beer?
Not a beer. It's a video game. It's a golf video game. It's a little ball, and you. It is like a golf arcade game. Golden Tee.
Never saw it. Never have seen it before.
What kind of high-end bars are you going to?
Games. I've never been in a bar with a game.
Have you ever been in a bar that has the test your punch thing?
No.
You need to get out of the city.
That sounds fun.
You need to get to a good old country bar. She has never. She has never seen gold. Like I've never played Golden Tee, but I've seen Golden Tee. Oh, I don't. I gotta.
I'm sorry. Okay. I think I can live. I'm sorry. You have to explain. I didn't know what it was.
I'm glad. Honestly, I'm glad. It's Golden Tee, like golf tea, not Golden Tea as in a beverage. So, Applebee's is not a bar, Minnie, says Aaron Keene.
I have not been to Applebee's either.
You've never been to an Applebee's?
I know. I know.
Fred thinks that you're the mermaid from Splash.
Okay. That's fair. I know it seems like it.
Do you remember jukeboxes and bars?
I mean, I'm not that old. Jeez.
There's just modern jukeboxes now, like same concept, but you can actually do it with the app on your phone. You know what an app on the phone is?
Shut up. Listen, when I go out. Thank you, Melissa.
Melissa says Minnie was raised with the pinky out.
I read it.
Yeah, but this is still an audio. Like I process the audio from the show and I put it into the podcast. Okay. So I have to read things for just the audio audience.
Okay.
And that caused a spit take from Fred. So thank you, Melissa. Comment of the night. That's even better than Linda just telling me how handsome and good looking I am. So
this is a good show for you so far.
I don't ever want the show to end. We might go 16 hours now. Hold on, let me put more beer in the fridge.
Okay.
All right, let's go.
Move on. Here's some notes from open practice.
Yes.
Ishmael Smith-Flores moved from tight end to jack. Sophomore Dylan Parrott moved from offensive line to defensive line. Tommy Hill, the cornerback, was out for load management. Henry Latosky, offensive guard, was out for calf injury, and Jalen Lloyd, the wide receiver, was out for tightness in his muscles.
I do want to discuss most of that, but I also want to circle back to a question that Josh had a moment ago, or several moments ago. Brock Knudsen from Scottsbluff is still on the roster listed as a redshirt freshman. So,
who?
Brock Knudsen. I'm pretty sure I'm pronouncing that right. He offensive lineman, big body. Yeah, I guess he would have probably committed under Frost, being that he's a Western Nebraska kid.
Still on the. Did you say he's still on the roster?
Yes, I already looked.
Okay.
So, I'm going to save that comment for later. Thank you, Josh. So he's there. Now, whatever we got to do to, again, I trust this coaching staff to maximize the roster, to add depth and talent where they see it's needed. So, Ishmael Smith-Flores moving to the jack position, Dylan Parrott going, flipping to the other side. Obviously, they're seeing something in him that they see that he might be more beneficial with. Since this all took place before Teddy's injury, be interesting to see if Parrott actually comes back. Probably tough to do and jump it back and forth across the line of scrimmage there. Tommy Hill being out for load management, that's fine. I don't have any issues with any of these. It can be him, Litovsky, or Jalen Lloyd being out based on where we're at in the season.
Absolutely. You save Tommy Hill as much as possible. We are counting on him and Jalen Lloyd. So, very good.
Why can't I win with you, Linda?
Why does Minnie's shirt look red and Craig's looks orange? That's a great question, Linda. I was wondering that too, Greg.
It's red.
Is it?
The boob light's not on, Josh. All right.
On my
I can't, because of the glasses and because of the way my face lights up. I try not to put more light, but it's fucking red.
Okay.
This is also red. It's red.
Josh has a good point. Remember, we just talked about how Greg washes his reds, and he did say he washes them with everything.
I think I'm also on board with Josh on this one. On Josh's TV, Greg is red and Minnie is magenta. Mm-hmm. That's how it looks on my screen.
Okay, on my well, you know what? I don't know why my shirt looks kind of. Yeah,
here's an interesting take, and I actually appreciate the science behind this. Automatic color correction. Minnie has red curtains. Greg has no red in the room except for his shirt. It's true.
Oh, Jason Reese would know.
Your eyes are being deceived. We will find out. Tell you what.
You're right. You're right next to my red curtains on my screen. So I don't know.
So here's what we're going to do. We're going to put all this to rest in Lincoln September 6th when we have the unofficial 5-heart meetup. I will be wearing this shirt, and if you're wearing that shirt, we'll do a side-by-side, be like, they're the same. It's yeah. Ooh, that's a great question. I'm going to give you the smolder. No, I don't have a smolder.
So weird. Oh my gosh. Oh my goodness.
Fred says, how do you know what Minnie's curtains look like, Jason? Oh, I shouldn't have read that one. I thought that was oh shit. What was I doing? I should have known better. That was an honest mistake by me. You blame Fred. God dang it.
I know. It is Fred's fault.
It's Fred's fault.
I expect it from Fred.
All right.
Okay. Let's talk about the offensive line.
Is that a red light behind you?
It is.
That's why.
I've got lots of red.
Yours is all your reds are distorted.
See, I'm kind of I describe myself as an over decorator. Just go all in on red.
Not as blue as Paul Newman's. That's fine. I always thought they were more of a hazel.
Maybe you should have something blue to bring out your eye color.
You know what? It's funny you say that. My wife says that I look really good in blue. That's why the suits that I typically wear are mostly blue with the occasional black.
Oh my gosh.
What?
Nothing.
If you're going to say
I don't want to know. I don't even want to know.
About my suits?
Uh-huh.
My custom-made suits?
What? Never mind.
I'm not talking about my birthday suit.
Are you sure?
Trust me.
What kind of suits, Greg?
The ones that I get, oddly enough, the same tailor that does Deion Sanders suits and has for 35 years. That's weird. Those are awkward conversations when I'm in the shop. All right. Can we move on? I'm getting uncomfortable.
These are the ones that came out on Saturday. Left to right, Turner Corcoran, Justin Evans, Ben Scott, Micah Mazuka, and that is how you say it, Josh, and Bryce Benhart.
I think the Matneys left long ago.
No. What are they doing tonight?
I don't know. They're about to riot. They're about to riot if we keep talking about clothes. You know what? Not at all surprised by Justin Evans up there. Ben Scott, Bryce Benhart, Micah Mazuka.
Yep.
Right? Did I pronounce
That's
that
how
right?
you say it. Yep.
Okay. Let's see what he can do as far as Turner. Again, this practice took place before the season-ending injury for Teddy. We just gotta get it to go. You know, we've got to figure it out. I made this comment in the Overreaction Revisited podcast last night. I'm like, it sucks that he got hurt, but when you think for the team, better now than 2 days before the UTEP game, because now you have time to figure out what that new front line is going to be.
It's true. Yes. So then we also have the number 2s were Teddy Prohazka, Jason Machacek, Sam Sledge, Tyler Knack, and Gunnar Gatula. And mixed in to right tackle was Brock Knutson.
There you go, Josh. If we would have fielded your question later, we would have answered it for you. I just couldn't wait.
I forgot I even typed that. Yeah. So that was left to right. So Teddy was left tackle behind Turner Corcoran at Saturday's practice.
Can I just say,
what?
Now, I love her dearly, but Melissa telling us at 10:01 that Teddy's out for the year, like we didn't talk about this for the last 40 minutes. Melissa, we start the show at 9 Central. Remember, Central's God's favorite time zone.
Yeah. We're on time, Melissa.
We were on to the second. I kid you. Please don't turn and
turn on Greg.
Don't turn on me. I'm so sorry. Angela Matney says, Angela Matney, the beloved spouse of living in Omaha, David Matney, the official realtor of the 5 Heart Podcast, says, I have to work this weekend, so where's the riot? I need to schedule it. Oh, no, it was only about, we were talking about laundry and fashion, and, we're not hitting our markers. So sorry.
She went to go grab her pitchfork.
Oh.
All right. So then the number 3s were Grant C. Green, Preston Tamua, Joey Mancino, and Gibson Pyle and Grant Bricks.
I think that's a good spot for Grant Bricks right now. I think eventually he'll probably be a left tackle.
So too.
But you never know. Yeah, okay. I mean, I again with Teddy going down, it doesn't look like it affects their front line. Right now, we'll see. I think that the Gunner's going to get a great shot. Absolutely, we've talked about that already. He'll get some real honest looks with the first team, in the next few weeks.
So what could happen is, those 5 could start. Turner Corcoran, Justin Evans, Ben Scott, Micah Mazuka, and Bryce Benhart. And then you could still have the backups be Gunnar Gatula, Jason Machacek, Sam Sledge, Tyler Knack, and Brock Knutson on right tackle. Awesome. I mean, that's still a lot of depth. Yeah.
I mean, I'm just happy that we have 3 actual groups of offensive lines.
Yeah,
I'll take that all day.
Here we go.
And obviously with no Henry Lutovsky, who we talked about, Justin, the spot is eventually going to be Justin Evans' spot. It's going to be his to lose. I fully believe that. Mm-hmm. He really showed a ton of promise and potential at the tail end of last season. So,
yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. And then we had a little bit from the running backs, not a whole lot. They said this coming Saturday they're going to be, focusing more on the running back plays when there's that closed scrimmage this coming Saturday. So, but we did see Emmett Johnson and Ramir Johnson. They both worked with the ones. And then we saw Quentin Ives. He took reps with the threes. Dante Dowdell also was impressive. But the ones who really stole the show were the wide receivers. And they were Jamal Banks, Isaiah Nair, and Janarian Bonner as the ones. So I think I have a picture here. Yeah. Do you want to show the one of Jamal Banks?
I do.
Everyone talks about his massive size, but look at it in comparison. Okay. I love Alex Bullock, by the way. He's just like, I love his story. A walk-on turned scholarship. He's number 84. And he's a tall dude. He's like 6'3", 6'2". Look at Jamal Banks in comparison in size.
Well, can I nerd out for just a moment?
Yeah.
So I don't know if I necessarily trust this image, and I'll tell you why. A lot of it can be blamed on depth. Have you ever seen the movie Lord of the Rings, Minnie?
Yeah. Yeah.
Did you know that Sean Astin, Elijah Wood, they're not actually like 3.5 feet tall? It's called forced perspective. It is my belief that the group of receivers to the left are about 10, 15 feet further away from the camera than Jamal Banks is, and that's why he looks so much taller than everybody else.
You really think that? Okay,
no,
let's look this up.
I was being funny, Minnie. I was being funny. Am I not allowed to try to be funny and entertaining on my own show?
When you have to explain a joke, it's not funny. Although you're right. He's not even that much taller. He's 6'4". 220 pounds.
He's just standing up, and Bullock is kind of, it's all about.
I wonder how tall the wide receivers coach is then. Is he like 5 foot?
I don't know. I was too busy laughing at Linda's comment. Thank you, Linda.
Really, again, Greg?
Yeah, I couldn't help myself. By the way, Joel Tilson, who's asking great questions, I'm just starring them to the end of the show, and we're just gonna have, we'll be serious at the end, Joel. We appreciate you hanging out with us, buddy. Great Chatterfields connecting, talking about watching Huskers in the 60s and 70s. So that's always great. Again, this is a fan family.
It is a fan family.
We've got a great group of people here, and I'm thankful for each and every one of you. So, Minnie included.
Especially Minnie, you mean?
Isn't that what I said?
Yeah, sort of. But I was hoping you would say especially Minnie.
Especially Minnie.
Not like that either.
Oh, okay. Let me try again. We've created. Hold on, let me be more sincere about it. We've created a tremendous fan family here on the Five Heart Podcast, and I'm exceptionally grateful for all of you, including especially Minnie, who I couldn't do the show without. She brings all the data, all the format, all the photos last few weeks, and I don't know what I'd do without her by my podcast side. So thank you, Minnie. You have elevated the show to new heights. We wouldn't have 10,000 subscribers without you, Minnie.
Okay.
And I just want to say from the bottom of my little Husker heart, thank you.
You're welcome. It was a little thick towards the end there, but you're welcome.
Do I look like I'm being held hostage?
Oh, Greg. You had me going there.
I mean, I meant it all.
Okay.
I said it in a weird way,
did.
but I meant it all. So.
I know you did. Okay, so poor Garrett McGuire.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to show that picture just one more time because this is kind of crazy. He looks like he's like my height. He's a good foot shorter than everybody else. That's why he's a coach.
Well, it's tough though, because they're wearing pads and the pads add extra, so it's not a
True.
All right, moving on.
True.
And they're wearing the goofy helmet protector, so everybody looks a little bit bigger than they actually are.
Yeah, they do. I like their uniforms though. Very crisp. What do you think of them?
I mean, like their practice shorts?
Yeah. The scrimmage outfit.
I definitely understand why you would appreciate them more so than me. It's perfectly acceptable, I suppose. I think they're going to take them down to the club near the airport and help subsidize their NIL shortcomings after games and shake it and find out what happens.
Well, when you said you get yours in blue, this is what I kind of thought you were talking about.
That's off-putting. Nobody wants to see that. Nobody wants to see that. Linda,
I'm sure your wife doesn't mind. Okay.
She's at the top of the list of people that don't want to see that. Linda Wilkins wants to know, are they going to wear the helmet protection during the season? I don't think so. I don't think so. I believe it's kind of optional. Like if they want to wear that extra layer of protection, they can, but I don't see that happening.
Yep. Okay. So Isaiah Garcia Castaneda and Keelan Smith got reps. Malachi Coleman, Alex Bullock, and Carter Nelson came in with the 2s. And
am I allowed to show that picture, or is it not appropriate yet?
Yeah.
There's Carter Nelson.
I mean, look at him. Okay. There was a comment that somebody said about Carter Nelson and Thomas Fidone, and I found a picture to emulate or to show this. They said when Carter Nelson and Thomas Fidone are standing next to each other, it's hard to tell the difference between the two.
Well, Thomas Fidone has a lot more tattoos.
I knew you were going to say that. Not on his right arm, obviously.
Apparently not. I think they're like knee down, right? You'd be so proud of me, Minnie, this last week. Left, so. I was watching some of the Chasing 3. I think I only have 2 episodes until I'm caught up. So
they're good, aren't they?
Mm-hmm. That was me being dismissive. I was trying to hold in the burp and try to be polite.
Okay.
No, they're really good watches, and it makes me wonder if other schools are doing similar. And I'm not going to go out and do the research because I don't have that kind of interest to see if like Alabama or Florida or Washington, if they're doing any week by week or bi-weekly type of documentary series on their program. I wonder if it's just something that's purely unique to Nebraska. But honestly,
so cool.
What a way to help build these kids' brands, because I don't think that any of them have, a camera shoved in their face, to use air quotes. I'm going to put the picture down for a moment. But the next step when you're in the NFL, like I've been watching receivers on Netflix. I'm going to watch quarterbacks, but like Hard Knocks, these are the types of brand shows that are at that next level. So, if you're a NFL program and you're like, if everything else is equal, I think you have to give an edge to the kid who has a little bit more screen time, a little bit more comfortability in managing these media issues, these media opportunities, rather. So
that's a great point, Greg. I hadn't considered that before. Yeah, you want more of a well-rounded personality to help represent your team.
You don't want somebody who's going to go there and, put his foot in his mouth.
Yeah. Be a thug.
I'll tell you,
Yeah.
I don't get great ideas too often. So it's a little word vomit when it comes out. So I apologize.
Hey, real quick. Also, since we showed Jamal Banks, I got to show Isaiah Nair.
I got you.
He's number 18. Yep. Look at that guy.
His arms are
going to be amazing.
We go to the same arm guy. He puts in a little more time.
Greg, we've already discussed how buff you are in other shows, Greg.
Yeah, those are my favorite shows. Uh-oh. My bestie's leaving. Linda Wilkins says, okay, Greg, I mean, great show. Got to run. Be safe. Good night.
It must be an hour in. She can only take an hour of you, Greg.
That's more
night,
than
Linda.
most. That is more than most. Thank you, Linda. God bless you. Have a great evening.
Okay. Well, and then TSD says, I just want to see some down touchdowns. I think you meant damn touchdown. And I think we're going to see some. I'm just getting you all hyped up, getting you ready, getting you primed for those touchdowns.
Yep. I'll go with that.
What, Greg?
I'm not
what do you have to add?
I have nothing to add. That's maybe the problem.
You're never at a loss for words. You are just holding back because why? It won't be a popular thing that you're going to say?
No, because I don't. Do you really want me to say? You're going to feel bad.
Greg, go ahead.
I kind of zoned out for a minute.
That doesn't make me feel bad.
Okay, good. You're like, that's just a regular Thursday night.
That's funny. All right, so tight ends. We got Fedoni, Nick Burkacher, Luke Lindenmeyer, Ian Flint. And I already said when Fedoni and Nelson were out there, somebody said they looked similar, which they do. So Thomas Fedoni's a junior, and Carter Nelson is a true freshman.
Mm-hmm. That's all true. To tell them apart, you're going to have to look for the tattoos. But now I kind of really want Carter Nelson to go and get identical tattoos.
Oh my gosh!
And then like have one be 29 and the other be number 28, and then just really wreak havoc. Like, change his name to Carter Nelson Fedoni II, and then it'd be the same name on the back. These are the great ideas I get.
It's not 28; it's 24.
That's what I'm saying. But who are we looking at in this picture? That's right in the middle, 29, right?
Yeah, that's Carter Nelson.
Okay, and then Thomas should change his number to 28, so they look more alike.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
Put the Twin Towers out there. All right.
The Twin Towers. I love it. That's a good nickname for them. You heard it here. I'm writing this one down.
All right, what's next, Minnie?
Okay.
Defense. We're going to move to the defensive side of the ball, and we're going to skip Section D.
Hoorah. Why?
Oh, nobody cares about special teams. Wait, hold on. Let me rephrase it. Stop. Let me correct myself. I'm looking. Okay. Nowhere under the special team section do I see long snapper. We can, in fact, talk about special teams. But first, defense. Linebackers. Take it away, Minnie.
Defense. Okay. Jamari Butler, Nash Hutmacher, Ty Robinson up front, Javin Wright, MJ Sherman, and John Bullock behind them. Rotating in was Sua Lafodu.
Sure.
I hope I say that. I don't know.
Well, when he watches, he can correct us in the comments.
And Riley Van Poppel, Cam Lenhart.
I'm actually, if I'm being 100% honest, I'm a little surprised that he's listed under the rotating in, and that's Cam Lenhart. The dude, first of all, again, if you're watching the Chasing 3, I totally am. He is a grown-ass man, and he needs to see the field as frequently as possible.
Oh, he will. He will. It's just that he's, it's only his second year in the system, so he'll see it. If he's not, he'll be starting some games too, I'm sure. Jack position, which everybody watched that. I hope everybody did, because MJ Sherman was in a press conference, and he is my all-time favorite. Not above Dylan, but pretty darn close.
Who?
MJ Sherman.
So he's your favorite defenseman? Your favorite black shirt?
Yeah.
All right. I mean, that's fine. You're wrong, but that's fine.
Well, who is yours?
That's a great question.
Does it
All right,
change?
so tell us. It does.
Okay.
Most people. I come from a world of what have you done for me lately?
Oh, yeah. You are like that.
Right? That's why Linda left early and she's dead to me now. So
I think MJ is just ready to tear it up this year. He's such a hard worker. So with him, they have Jordan Ochoa, Willis McGahee IV, Maverick Noonan, who was injured last year, Ismail Smith-Flores. Yeah. So that's kind of exciting. We have quite a few players at Jack. And they all look pretty good. They're all built guys.
More the merrier, baby.
Baby.
Did you ever watch Ted Lasso?
Yes.
So I get that from Coach Beard. Especially in the third season when, Ted Lasso has when he's like, defense, baby. Something like that. So that's where I get that. I will punch you in the dick, Josh Hansen. I'm not even going to read that. I'm not going to read that.
Okay. Defensive backs. At corner, we had Jeremiah Charles and Marquise Buford Jr.
Mm-hmm.
And all this talk about cornerback, we keep forgetting about Marquise Buford Jr. I have no idea why.
I'm trying to figure out.
That guy's a player.
Yeah, he has the, I won't say potential. He's shown he's balled out before. I just feel like he has the opportunity, perhaps, to have a really strong year here and kind of like cement his status as, I don't want to put too much pressure on him because I know he's going to watch this later, and I don't want him to feel that and have to live with that. If he has a really, really standout season, which I think he has the potential to do, I could definitely see him being a round 3 guy in the draft.
Ooh.
Just saying. Like, different set of skills from like the Cam Taylor-Britt, but all in all, the tools are all there. And with the second year of coaching from this staff, I feel like he has the ability to bring it all together.
I think you're onto something there. I'm wondering about his size. So I'm going to look at that real quick.
I got you.
Thank you.
You're
going to look it up for me?
5'11", 190.
Yeah.
From Chicago, Illinois.
I mean, he doesn't exactly have the size going for him, but 5'11" is not very big.
one of my favorite DBs of all time, if I can find his. So Ryan Clark played for the Steelers and the Redskins. He was an undrafted free agent in 2012, ended up winning from LSU. Won a Super Bowl, I'm pretty sure. Anyway, he was 5'11". And he was one of the more punishing. Now, granted, they've changed the rules, obviously, the contact and targeting, things like that, but he was one of the more hard-hitting, powerful defensive backs and free safeties in the game. So,
awesome. Okay. Well, and then safeties, we saw Malcolm Hartzog Jr., Isaac Gifford, and Deshaun Singleton.
Troy Polamalu was only 5'10". Just saying.
I mean, I don't think that's very common, though.
No, Troy Polamalu's a genetic freak.
Okay. Well, so is Marquise Buford Jr. So
that's what I'm saying.
I mean, we saw a picture of him last week. In fact, I think I still have the picture. Do you mind if I pull it up?
No, go forth.
If I do. I think I deleted it. Dang it. I lied.
That's okay. Sorry. Things happen.
Greg.
What?
Yeah. Okay.
What did I do?
Nothing.
Justin Raji says taken. Does anyone know where Dylan Raiola is? Fred says Minnie looked at Greg like she looks at through the blinds. Pic of Dylan there for a second there. So
peeking through the blinds. All right. So.
Sorry. This is
now
fun.
We're moving on to special teams.
That's fine.
And no, we're not going to talk about the long snapper this week.
Damn.
I know, you're sad. But we are going to talk about the punt returners.
That's
and the
probably
punt
good.
returners.
Because it'd be nice if they returned from time to time.
Yeah. Isaiah Garcia Castaneda, Ja'Cory Barney Jr., Emmett Johnson, and Sire Wright.
If I'm being 100% honest, and that's the only way I am, I don't want to see Emmett Johnson back returning punts. I just don't.
You want to save him?
I want to save him. Same with Ramir Johnson, who we'll talk about in a moment as far as kick returning goes. It's Emmett Johnson's going to be our featured back this year. I'm 93.5% sure. I don't want to risk him in a kick or punt return situation. Just me. Just one man's opinion.
Okay. I don't know. I mean, we have a whole lot of depth in running back, so more than we ever have. Because I've been a fan.
And depth is fine, but depth can't replace what's likely to be your number one guy. And I think Emmett Johnson is going to emerge from fall camp and will be the starter against UTEP.
I think you're right, but there's no reason why Gabe Irvin Jr. can't be a starter and Ramir Johnson can't be a starter. They were last year.
But they're coming off of injuries.
Hopefully they're coming back even stronger.
I don't discount that. And one of the episodes of Chasing 3 that I watched this week, they kind of focused on Ramir a little bit in his recovery. And again, for both of those guys, I want nothing but full recoveries, better than ever. Make them, $10 million, $10 billion, whatever. Make them that Steve Austin Bionic Man type of, get him out there but it's not preseason predictions show yet, so I can't be fully Kool-Aided, and I still think that Emma Johnson's probably going to be the feature back this year.
Okay. Greg, do you have your calendar from last week?
I didn't update it, but it's around here somewhere.
Okay.
Do you want to see it?
Pull up. Yes.
Okay.
If you wouldn't mind pulling up your calendar, I need to know, and I think everybody here wants to know, when can we get the full Kool-Aid effect, Greg?
I'm not saying that I'm not drinking the Kool-Aid now. I'm just saying that I still think that Emma Johnson's going to be the feature running back. I think he's going to be RB1 in the depth chart, and so I don't want RB1 back returning kicks or punts. As we look at the calendar, this beautiful calendar, by the way, I won't hear any negativity about this calendar, especially for the fact that I didn't update it. Again, it's Thursday the 8th. I'm still, that's what I do. I slack. Sorry that I have a job and I have small children. I forget things. Okay. Now I'm drinking the Kool-Aid right now, and it's fine. And we're going to win all the games, and everything's going to be peachy. But again, I still don't want RB1 to be returning kicks or punts, because that's when shit goes awry.
Just so you know, okay, we only have 3 5-heart shows before the first game.
Yep.
So when can I expect a full-fledged Kool-Aid Greg? I need to know. I think we need to know.
Am I that negative?
You're not Mr. Positivity. No.
I mean, I'm Mr. Troll about DR, but I like to think I'm pretty positive overall. Like, I thought I was a pretty positive guy.
Who told you that you were a positive guy?
What was their name? I'm probably the person who sold me this calendar, if I'm being honest. All right, so without a doubt, the 29th. Like, again, I'm pretty positive right now. Do I give you shit about DR and try to just mitigate expectations? Yes, because you're here, and I need you to be like here. But I'm all Nebraska all the time. And if you want to see full Kool-Aid Greg, I will flip that switch next week.
Okay.
And we'll tap that Kool-Aid keg. And there will be no turning back.
August 15th. Full Kool-Aid Greg.
That being said, we will be doing our season prediction show on the 29th. We'll make damn sure that John is here with us, because he needs to be here for that one. So,
yeah. That sounds great. I can't wait.
Let's see. Josh wants to know, how much do we have to pay Haas to be on the UTEP preview show for his takes and prediction? Funny you should ask Josh Hansen. Yeah. Haas has said, you know what? I think we need to do like a coordination overreaction season preview show live. So I don't know when that's going to be. Probably in a couple of weeks. I think we'll probably take next week off, and we'll do our show live with predictions, all the fun stuff. And while my predictions won't change because I don't do that, what we will do is obviously we'll do something special here for the 5-heart, because that's what we do.
Okay, and Husker Chuck says also next week, Greg finds Husker stuff at the wall behind him.
The problem is that, like, okay, can you turn around and touch the wall behind you? See, like, my wall's all the way over there. Yeah. I can't. I'm afraid that it would get lost.
It won't get lost.
Husker Chuck, I'll find something. Okay? I'll find something. I'll see what I can do. It's tough. I'm in Southern Illinois, so it's not like I can just go to the local store and buy some Husker stuff. Like, I have to order Husker stuff. We'll figure it out. God, we'll figure it out. So many demands.
Would you put something up that was Husker? Or is this like a family room?
This is my office. The walls, as you know, here, let me move the camera. The walls are completely bare. Like, it is such a lonely. There's my printer. There's the one light I have.
Room.
There's the one light I have to illuminate this area. Yeah, so that's it.
This room is depressing.
Thank you. And it's in a nice earth tone because I'm just buried in it. Oh, you want to see the best part? Well, check out the floor. The floor is just a mess of stuff. Like, it's ridiculous. That is both an inflatable bounce ball and an inflatable bounce cow for the kids that they were bouncing too much. So I put it on this side because over there in that little corridor is the baby gate, which the twins have now figured out how to open. So it's not serving its point anymore. I hope you all appreciated this tour of my home.
Now we understand why you're not exactly a positive outlook type of person.
Josh says, also breaking news, Greg podcast from a jail cell.
Poor Greg. Somebody wants to
did we both click the same one?
No, you clicked a different one.
Roger Moore says, red, is that supposed to be crepe paper or crepe paper from the ceiling fan would be a nice touch. Let's see. Which one do you want? I'll let you take control.
I was going to. Well, thank you.
That's
it's hard for him. I got to find it. Okay. Joseph Lilikis says, Greg, I can send you a photo of my Husker game room bar to use as a background. Like so you get a picture of somebody else's game room and bar.
Virtual background. I appreciate that, Joseph. We'll figure it out. Joel Tilson, by the way, this is the first comment that I've highlighted from Joel, but I've starred a bunch of them, buddy. So don't think that I forgot about you. But room decorating it needs to happen. Like, honestly, but because this is not the only podcast or live show that I do. So anything that I put here, I also have to be able to take down and move for my other show. It's very complicated. Like, it's in an ideal world, I'd have two desks. I'd have like the Corn Nation 5 Heart Podcast desk that shows Husker stuff on that wall. And I'd have my Nerds United podcast desk over there that shows my comic book stuff on this wall. I just don't have the walls or the money. You need capital for that stuff, Minnie. I don't know if you know it.
This is not true. Greg, are you... I mean... You know I'm an interior designer, so it is better than John's bathroom. It's true. If you need help, just let me know, buddy.
All right, what can you do with a budget of $50?
A lot more than you can.
That's fair. I'm gonna take $50. I'm gonna go down to Hobby Lobby because they have Marvel stuff. So I'll get the comic book wall, and then I'll go on Husker website X and I'll get Husker. It'll be fine. It'll just be. This is all off the format. We got to get back on the format. It's 10:40, by God. Tell me about those kickers.
Can't now. This is my favorite subject besides football. Is decorating. And I didn't think we'd ever go there in this show.
We've talked laundry, fashion colors. Now we're into interior decorating. I'm starting to wonder what exactly this show has evolved into.
Okay. Well, we know Tristan Alvano is still recovering from his surgery. Aw.
This might be my new favorite comment.
Let's all chip in and buy Greg a room makeover. That's because Greg is cheap.
Can I tell you all that story? Are y'all ready for that story about how cheap I am? This is an all-time story. You said it.
Geez.
We're going there, and then we'll talk kickers. So last summer, I had a work conference down in Dallas. Staying at the Gaylord Resort down there, and a coworker of mine, guy from my office, he realizes at the airport in St. Louis, he's like, shit, I forgot my button-down dress shirts for this conference. We have to be in suits every day. I was like, oh, damn, man, that sucks. And as we get, Ubered or lifted or whatever to the resort where we're staying, where the conference is, and I got thinking, I'm like, did I pack my shirts? I did. Get to my room, get to unpacking. No, I did not pack my button-down shirts. So we, again, Uber or lifted to the near mall and went to a store called H&M. Have you ever heard of H&M? Do they have those in Arizona? Yeah. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So
while there, I found a shirt that fits, button down, ready to roll. And I was like, I have all my shirts, all the shirts I need at the house. They're just unfortunately at the house. I don't really need this shirt. So I bought the shirt, but I didn't take the tags off the shirt.
Oh my God.
And then I wore the shirt for 3 days. And then I brought it back to St. Louis, and I took it to my local H&M. And I returned it. I'm so proud of this. Honest to God, I'm so proud of this story. It's because that's like I got one over.
What did you say to them when you returned it? You're like, I have too many shirts already. What did you say? I decided I actually don't like it the way it feels after 3 days.
I didn't tell them I wore it for 3 days. I was like, yeah, I bought this. Whatever I said. I was like, I don't really need it, or wasn't quite me, or whatever it was, and then I gave it back and got a refund. So,
God. Wow.
Am I proud of it? Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
Well, TSD says Gaylord Resort sounds interesting.
Well, it's like Gaylord Opryland Resort in Nashville. It's the same people that just have that. And this one's down outside of Dallas.
Even Joel Tilson got rid of his boob lights years ago.
Yeah, but I don't know what my house would do if I wasn't here flicking the boob light every week.
Oh my gosh.
What?
Okay. So, yes, we know you're cheap, Greg, but I did not realize you were that cheap.
It was a one-time thing. I did it to see if I could do it. I don't feel bad about it.
You should.
I don't. Again, I wore undershirts. It's fine. Nobody's any the wiser.
I don't think it is. I don't think it is. I'm wondering how you could not tell them this.
Josh says, I love that Minnie's such an honest soul that she assumed Greg told them he wore it for 3 days. Wait, hold on. Melissa's got a beat. And a much shorter story. She says, I got that beat. I went and test drove a truck, took it, moved furniture, and then took it back and said I didn't like it.
Wow. That's interesting.
I bow to the master.
That's okay. Another level there.
All right, kickers.
Kickers. So Tristan Alvano's still recovering from his surgery. Nico Ottaminelli and John Hull missed their first kicks, but then each made their next two with plenty to spare from about 45 yards. Which is great because we might be calling on both of them this year.
Mhm.
And then the punter, Brian Buschini, also known as Boom Sheeny.
Who refers to him as that? Is that like a very specific household in Arizona that refers to him? I've never heard him referred to as Boom Genie.
You've never been at a game and after he kicked in 2022, everyone's yelling, Boom, Boom Sheeny.
In 2022, no, I was not at a game. I went to a game last year, but it was in Champaign, Illinois. Remember,
but do you go to these bars that you frequent with the golden tea?
No, because those beers are expensive. Okay. I stay at home where I pay like, I don't know, less than $1 a can for my beer. I'm very economical when it comes to my football watching. For example, when I go to Lincoln next month, yeah, that too. When I go to Lincoln next month, I'm staying with a friend of a friend. I know. It's going to be awesome.
Yeah, it's going to be awesome, Greg. Aaron Keene says, Boob Genie?
And Fred says, oh, God, Minnie tried to turn him into Boom Sheeny. This is not a thing. More like Boo Sheeny.
I didn't do it. Boom, Boom Sheeny. That's what everyone was yelling. Okay.
TSD asks about Champaign, Illinois. Do they make a lot of champagne there? No. You're still going to want to find your champagnes that will come from France, likely. However, their SB Nation site, like we're Corn Nation, theirs is called the Champagne Room. And it's spelled like the town, not like the drink. But, you know, it kind of gives that bubbly feel. And we were talking about mimosas earlier. So, full circle, baby. Full circle.
Full circle. Full circle. Okay.
Punter time.
Where were we?
We're still talking about Boom Genie and how he had a very inconsistent performance of shanking punts. Moving on.
Go ahead. Finish.
I was just saying the Montana transfer and the FCS punter of the year in 2022. He averaged 44 yards a punt, had many, countless, dare I say, over 50 yards and a 65-yard punt versus Georgia Southern. But in 2023, he averaged only 40 yards per punt, was inconsistent much of the year. In some moments, he flipped field position with 50-yard bombs. But when we needed him the most, he would shank the football into the stands. And it wasn't great.
Into the stands?
Sometimes, probably. Maybe.
I don't remember that.
No, Roger. No.
Long snapper talk.
No long snapper this week.
I've done a lot of research recently on long snappers.
None of that surprises me.
I'm not the only one that seen. I mean, they here in Arizona, you know, Cole's Camp, they actually hold a long snapper camp.
This is disgusting.
It's quite the position.
Again, it is a great gig if you can get it because you can make a lot of money being a long snapper and not do anything for a long, for most of your career. It's the biggest scam in the game being a long snapper.
You know what the hardest thing is? They want to shank the ball.
This is all your fault, Roger. It's all your fault. We were not supposed to talk long snappers this week.
Rather than driving the ball through their legs, a lot of them want to pull up and then drive it through. And you don't get as much velocity doing that.
Can you explain it to me again? Like I'm
Okay.
15?
I mean, I would show you, but I can't really do it. Okay, so you...
No. Show me. Show me. I'm a visual learner.
I can't. So, okay, imagine I have the football, okay? I have a football. I've got a football here. A tiny little football, Nerf ball, okay? It's on the ground, and most long snappers... What?
You're welcome, everybody.
Roger Moore, really?
Oh, wait. I remember this is an audio show. Roger Moore says that long snappers can wear their uniforms all season and take them back. That's right. Don't even take the tags off at long snappers. Don't need to. You get that money back. Take it back to H&M. See what they give you for it. Joel. Oh, I feel so bad because we are saving all of your questions for the end. Joel, come back. Jump in the morning tomorrow. Jump into about the 1:55 to 2 hour mark. We should be answering some of your questions then, maybe. Sorry, buddy. You deserve better, and I'll try to be better next week.
Anyways, what I was saying about long snappers is the ball's on the ground. It's making contact with the ground, and what they have a tendency to do is pull it up and then hike it through, push it through their legs. And you don't want to do that because that's called shanking it. You just want to drive it straight through your legs.
Are you saying that every shank comes onto the blame of the long snapper for how the ball is snapped?
Not necessarily, but there's a lot to it. They time how quickly the ball actually gets to the place kicker or to the punter. Oh my gosh. Okay. We're moving on. We're moving on now. You can wake up.
Wake up, everybody. All right.
Okay, now we have our quarterback situation.
No. We all know.
That's for last.
Heinrich Haarberg, QB1.
Really? Do you want to show how he's QB1? Huh?
Sure.
Because I don't think he wears number 15.
What does that have to do with anything?
Dylan
Actually, that's one of our questions. That is one of our questions. I don't know if you know this or not.
What?
One of our starred questions. I have to find. Oh, Husker Chuck said almost an hour ago, will Raiola get a single digit or will he keep number 15?
Well, if I was on the team, I'd give him a single digit.
I'm sure if you were on the team, you'd give him 10 digits. Area code, the prefix, and then the last 4. So let's pump the brakes on the digits that you're giving old Dylan Raiola, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Why are there 2 15s? Can you answer that one to me?
They haven't figured out who's going to be wearing 15 just yet. When the single digits come out, they'll figure that out. That's Malcolm Herzog.
Oh, he could probably wear it. Because I'm pretty sure that they can wear same number if they're on opposite sides.
He can. But also Malachi Coleman wears 15, and he's on offense. I
like how Michael Hashman says 0 chance HH is QB1 without a DR injury. Be polite. As diplomatic as the case, the scenario, the situation requires me to be. Sometimes I say shit just to aggravate Minnie and get that reaction from her.
He likes to poke the bear.
I like to poke the bear. Yep, that's me. The alpaca in that picture seems lost. He does seem out of place.
What's wrong with you guys?
Thank you, Aaron Keene. No Rostovsky tonight. So I'll be honest with you. Until Rostovsky shows up, I'm not even going to say Aaron Keene anymore. I'm just going to say Aaron. Until they're both here, we don't need to differentiate. If Minnie was on the team, she'd give him a 1-900 number jersey. Pump the brakes, Frederick. Good Lord.
Jeez. Okay.
I'm not going to read that.
So Dylan led the team onto the field. He scored a touchdown on the first play. Woohoo! And I have a lot of comments about Dylan that I would like to.
We're gonna make you limit it to 2. Pick your 2 favorite. Okay. One of them is already in the format, so pick your favorite besides that.
Do you want to read that? Do you want to read that one, and I'll read another one?
Sure. Sam McEwen, who, by the way, kind of, I don't want to say started as like a podcaster, but he definitely started in like a realm that was closer to what we do here, said, and I quote, "He protected the ball the best. He probably took the fewest risks of all the quarterbacks in terms of tossing the ball in traffic." End quote. That's not at all what Sam sounds like, but Sam's a great dude. Sam is a great dude. He's a tremendous resource. Great follow on X, by the way. I'm sorry. X.
He is. And Matt Rhule.
No shit, Fred says. Minnie has a lot of comments on Dylan. What's next? Greg likes beer? No, Greg loves beer. I love beer more than Minnie loves Dylan. Remember that.
Okay. When asked on another YouTube channel, when Coach Rhule was asked about Dylan Raiola, if he's going to start, he said, we have one of the best quarterback rooms that I've ever been a part of. If game 1 was tomorrow, yes, I have nothing but confidence in Dylan. But I loved the first part of that quote. And he said, we have one of the best quarterback rooms that I've ever been a part of.
This is me agreeing with the comment.
You're shaking your head for people listening to this in podcast form.
I'm nodding in agreement. I'm not doing this. This is shaking. This is nodding, and I'm saying
yes, nodding. Okay.
It is definitely because there's a tremendous youth movement in that quarterback room, and it's only going to get younger and better, I think, as we go on. In the interest of being 100% transparent and honest, all right?
Okay.
DR starts against UTEP. I'm here for it. This might be the beer talking. But remember, when you expect certain levels of achievement, I suppose, when you expect greatness, either your expectations are met or you're disappointed.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, should we hear about what HH did?
Are you going to poo-poo on my boy?
Well, no. He looked sharp. But he did have an interception by Mario Buford. But then he threw a nice ball to Carter Nelson right after that. So he's definitely improved. I mean, I could see it. I think we all can see it. So
I like this comment from Roger Moore, but at the same time, I like most comments from Roger Moore. I've never seen a comment I didn't like from Roger Moore. It says, HH will take a pitch on the option for a TD against Colorado. I could see that being one of those weird situations where he takes the pitch, but then he throws downfield. Finds like Fedoni or Coleman or Jalen Lloyd. That is what Heinrich Haarberg is going to bring. You remember when we started the 2023 season, he was lining up as a tight end. He was not the quarterback, and he saw time in that Minnesota game from that position. So he's going to be a wrinkle that opposing teams are going to have to kind of take into account. That I'm fine with that, because again, he's a well-built kid. He's got a good arm. Like you said, in the practice, he had a nice, ball to Carter Nelson. Finding ways to get playmakers on the field, finding ways to get these athletes on the field, whether it's, design packages, things like that, it's only going to benefit the team. And again, as Husker fans, we all need to be here for it. We don't need to be tribalistic about, Dylan Raiola or Heinrich Haarberg or whomever. We just need to embrace the fact that they are all Huskers, and whatever personnel combination that it takes to get them on the field, to get them to have more points at the end of the game than the other team, that's a win. That's all we need to embrace. There. Are you happy?
I like that. Good job. Although everyone's agreeing with Vince Watson. He says, don't be surprised when he plays like a freshman. Obviously, he's talking about Dylan Raiola. Okay. I'm here for you, negative Nellies. It's okay. Yep, Aaron Keene right there with them. Vince Watson, fact. Freshman mistakes will happen at some point. Really, Keene?
So here's
it will happen at some point.
I don't disagree. It's all about the timing of it. Does it happen against a UTEP team that you're supposed to beat, or what's that other directional state school that we have, like the third game of the season, Northern Iowa? Does it happen against a team that you're supposed to go out there and trounce, or does it happen in a critical moment against Ohio State or USC or Wisconsin, Iowa? The freshman mistakes, again, I don't disagree that they're going to happen, but it's going to be the timing. Is it going to be to a team we're supposed to beat and we're supposed to be better than, or is it a team that is relatively our equal or a little bit better than us when you consider that Ohio State is, likely to be the preseason number 2 team in the country, and that, a critical mistake at a key time cost us dearly. Again, I don't think these guys are wrong. I think freshman mistakes will happen. But when is going to be the bigger question, bigger.
And actually, I have a even bigger question than that, because there's a lot of comments that I'm seeing. And okay, here's the thing. I do realize that he's human. He will make mistakes. But my question to you guys is, what is his ceiling this year?
I think this is going to be, I'll say this. I'm not going to draw comparisons to Scott Frost and Adrian Martinez. Like, as one went, so did the other. Nebraska was only going to go as far under Scott Frost as Adrian Martinez was going to take us, or vice versa. We were only going to go and be as successful with Adrian Martinez as Scott Frost would allow. I think that Matt Rhule and company, I have so much more faith and confidence in them that I don't necessarily think that the two are linked in this. Like if Dylan doesn't, and I'm not trying to put bad juju on the kid or anything like that, but if Nebraska's, I think, going to continue to have an upward trajectory. If this season we struggle more than we anticipate, I still think that next year we will be better, and the year after that we will be better. It's not in that Scott Frost, Mike Riley world where, like Haas famously says all the time, like, we haven't been to a bowl game since the Obama administration. We haven't beat Wisconsin since the iPhone 4 was new. we will continue to improve incrementally or by leaps and bounds. Matt Rhule is famous for those big second years. So I don't, what was the question? No, I think I answered it.
You did not answer my question. I asked
Okay.
what was Dylan Raiola's ceiling. He went off and it was like gone. Everybody wants to say he's okay.
As a freshman.
Here's the thing. The reason I asked that question is because everybody wants to point out, okay, he's a freshman, he's going to make mistakes. They want to bring out the negative. So I'm saying, okay, what's the upside? What's the positive? What's his ceiling this year then?
Well, let me highlight Joseph Lilakis' comment here. Breaking news in their recent Big Ten preview, ESPN's Adam Rittenberg, who, by the way, is a Northwestern alum, and Jake Trotter, don't know much about him, named Raiola as one of 3 impact freshmen. The 2 analysts called to be for Georgia native, uber talented, and clearly more talented than the rest of the quarterback room. Are you asking what is his ceiling as a freshman or in his career?
Okay. I know in his career, he's probably got more ceiling than any quarterback that we can think of. But
as a freshman,
this year,
I think he'll be poised. I think he will make fewer mistakes than any of his predecessors in probably the last decade. I think that he has every bit of potential to lead Nebraska to 9 to 10 wins. Is he going to be a Heisman Trophy winner as a freshman? No. But he will. If Nebraska begins that process of returning to national prominence, Dylan Raiola will be a factor in that.
Okay. Thank you.
Are you happy?
Thank you, Greg. I'm happy. I'm happy with that comment.
I'm not sure because Fred says you're supposed to get me.
Yeah.
Am I not supposed to use the word poise?
It's a gross word.
Poise?
Yeah.
We talked about that before. See, I drink some of these shows away. Like, I don't go back and watch them.
PJ Fleck, that was his word of the season last year.
Oh.
Something about him saying it just over and over just made me really hate that word.
All right, hold on. I'm pulling up thesaurus.com. That word: calmness, confidence, elegance, equanimity, grace, self-assurance, serenity, and tact. I'm going with equanimity. Anytime I think about using the word POISE, I'm going to put in equanimity, level-headedness. Moving on. Let's get the show over. I got to pee.
Okay. The one probably biggest surprise for Husker fans was Jalen Gramstead. How he threw 2 touchdown passes. And right away, I was reading articles saying he could be QB2. When you look at it as to who, it is just an open practice. So you can't put too much on that. But he threw 2 touchdown passes?
Who do you throw him to, and against what defense? That would be my question.
Well, I'm sure it wasn't the ones.
Okay.
And then Danny Kaelin came in. He missed his former high school teammate, Isaiah McMorris, but later connected with Roman Mangini and Alex Bullock. Malachi Coleman also played wide receiver with Kaelin's group. And linebacker Makai Bear, intercepted Kaelin's late in the practice. So
I apologize because I feel like This question is 2 sections too late because this probably should have been talked, or maybe more sections too late. Should have been talked about more with the wide receivers. But with the additions of, let's see here, Jamal Banks, Isaiah Nair, are we concerned that Malachi Coleman's going to get lost in the shuffle? We already have Jalen Lloyd. I think Jalen Lloyd had a little bit more production last year. Are we concerned that this might be, not Malachi's breakout year that we kind of thought it might be after last season?
I think it will be. I hope it will be. I mean, I think he needs it. We need him. I envision Malachi Coleman as our next Trey Palmer.
That reaction wasn't that I didn't necessarily disagree. I think Jalen Lloyd's kind of that, based on breakaway speed, how he always finds his way past the defense. I think Jalen Lloyd might be more that Trey Palmer style of player. Don't get me wrong. I love everything that Malachi Coleman brings to the table. Different types of players. I think Malachi Coleman is going to continue to evolve, and while obviously we hope he never enters the transfer portal, and don't think he will. He's a Nebraska kid. He's going to be that big body target like a Jamal Banks in his career at Nebraska, whereas Jalen Lloyd's going to be the post route, corner route type of run and go type of player. I think Coleman's just going to bring a different type of receiver ability to this Nebraska receiver room. So
yeah, I'm excited to see him this year. For sure.
Aaron Keene and I said I wasn't going to name, bring in his last name, but he says more concerned about Satterfield than our talent on offense, to be honest. I think Marcus Satterfield's right where he needs to be now that we have a quarterback coach. Or in a co-offensive coordinator. I think that there's a certain amount of, lack of a better term, checks and balances. And I think what we're going to see this year is a different Marcus Satterfield overall approach than what we saw last year. And he's back coaching tight ends. I know he's happy he's going to be doing that. So I'm not too worried about Marcus Satterfield. And remember, if Marcus Satterfield goes, we're going to have to find a new name for you assholes, because we call you the Chatterfields because of him. So if don't.
Yeah, guys.
Don't throw the baby out with the bathwater.
You're named after him. I don't know what it is with these people here in the Chatterfields, but they like to say these gross words.
What is gross about boys? Outside of the PJ flexing, what? Again, we talked about this last week. Groin is just the body part. It's not even the external naughty bits. It's very much on the inside and very much a common groin being pulled injury type thing.
It could be, but then Fred adds another word to it. Ew.
Well, Fred is Fred. And if you haven't learned, that because you were a Chatterfield before you were a panelist.
I know.
And you were a panelist before you were a co-host. So.
Wait, what?
I just gave you a promotion because I said you were a panelist.
Did you? Wait.
What?
I'm a what?
You're a co-host.
What am I? I'm a co-host. I'm going to get like a nameplate back here.
Aaron's great. He's like, well, it seems we can just be you assholes if Satterfield goes. And Fred says that if Market fucks up, he'll be a Chatterfield too. All right, you got to read this one.
I can't read it. You know I can't.
I know, that's funny.
I can't even pronounce those words hardly.
Really?
Okay. I can. I don't want to.
I'm going to say, it's just an OI sound. It's like joint. Can you say joint?
I mean,
And I'm not talking
probably
about
doesn't sound that way.
anything illegal. I'm talking about like your elbow is a joint in your arm, or
Okay.
shoulder joint, or
I don't go around talking about those parts either.
Oh, here's a new
Okay.
T-shirt idea: Johnston's assholes. So,
Okay.
all right, moving on. Latest on the
Yeah, this
on the
kind of
recruits.
sucked. But, I figured that we must have not really wanted him in order for him not to come to Nebraska, because Will Hawthorne today chose Iowa State. And somebody wrote, oh, he chose Iowa State over Nebraska because we were his top 2, apparently. But we must not have really wanted him. That's what I'm thinking. So we have 5-star Michael Terry III. He said he had a great visit, but he's going to postpone his decision until fall. Because earlier he said he was going to make it at the end of summer. But his family wants him to focus on making the right decision instead of rushing. And David Sanders Jr. is deciding between now, Tennessee, and Nebraska.
We're in the top 2. The final 2. It's like Bachelor.
For the number 2 player.
All we got to do is figure out
number 2 player.
who he's going to give the rose to, right?
Right. And he's an offensive tackle. So we want him.
All right. This is where we're going to lightning round these starred comments, and this is where Joel Tilson, we apologize. We did your dirty, and we should have been addressing these as they came in, I suppose, because you left us a little while ago. You went to bed. You didn't leave us. You didn't shuffle off this mortal coil. Joel Tilson says, do we have a decent kicker? No. Let's see. We've got who's going to try out the new sports streaming app Venue? Are you going to try out Venue, Minnie?
No.
Okay. I thought about it because I thought I didn't want to pay for cable anymore. And then I actually went out and did my work and got paid. And so now I don't mind paying for cable.
Well, listen. Listen. Did you see that you could get the Big Ten Plus for free?
No, you can't anymore. They shut that down.
I got it for free.
Well, you probably did it very early. It was for like specifically, correct me if I'm wrong, like the USC fans. They were trying to welcome them into the fold.
Any of the new Big
newbies?
Ten teams.
Yeah, they stopped that promotion pretty damn quick. So let's see. Joel Tilson also says, looks like Colorado's imploding with Deion Sanders. Correct me if I'm wrong, Minnie. There's not really any shock or surprise there.
Nope. Yes, and we are here for it.
We are here for it. Let's see. Aaron says to Fred, it would have been funny if Greg had also gone to pee during the special teams section. Greg did the math. Greg's got about
how many?
44 ounces of beer in his bladder right now. So
okay.
Two 16 ounces and a 12er. All right. So,
and yet he still continues to talk.
I'm dedicated to the cause. All right. No surrender. Never give up. No surrender. Joel says, can't blame football players for getting paid. Random, but you're not wrong. Josh says, Pinky's out for Dylan as a new mini tee on Cobby Corn. It needs to be. Just a little hand icon with the pinky out. I think it might be an emoticon or emoticon emoji on your phone. So do that. Pinky's out for Dylan. Probably available in pink V-neck T-shirt for you ladies out there. And then we have a couple of, I'll be honest with you, Joel, questions about Trev Alberts and why he left. We're going to move on past that. No offense, Joel. Braska Rascal, I'm sorry, Scott, says, Greg, have you seen Illinois' alternate jersey with the airbrush painted helmets to look like old-time leather helmets? The guy who airbrushed the helmets is from Nebraska. I have seen those. I don't have an image. They're going throwback for when Red Grange used to run wild in Champaign, and it's for the Illinois-Michigan game. So they're going to work out these. It looks like many of those jerseys or those uniforms that Nebraska had a few years ago to make it look like the Leatherhead helmets.
Leather.
Kind of like that, except
these are cool helmets.
I don't know about that. But in not even Illinois colors, because it's like a mustard yellow and a blue. So it's going to be kind of confusing for Michigan, who's going to be the opponent that week. But I did see that, Scott. I didn't like it when Nebraska did, if I'm being 100% honest. If they want to honor the Galloping Ghost, more power to them. But, the reason, honest to God, and the reason I'm a Nebraska fan is because nobody south of Springfield gives a crap about Illinois football. I went to Nebraska when I moved there at 21, a clean slate, no allegiances, and good people like Josh adopted me and converted me to a Husker fan. So forever grateful. That's why he gets a case of Yingling, and a lot of you just get a single beer. So let's see. Aaron says, Greg bringing new meaning to Golden Road. It's going to be golden something here in about 10 minutes. Greg, did you see the crazy lady chose the hermit from your hometown?
What's that?
No.
Oh,
email me that link, man. Email me that link because I don't know.
I'll fill you in after.
Okay.
It's not an emailed link. You'll be like, oh.
Fred still hasn't happened. I'm not relaxed yet. I haven't got up.
Oh my gosh, Greg. Why don't you wrap it up then?
Because this is fun for me.
We're talking more about you needing to use the restroom.
This is
than
great.
Anything.
This is fun. It's like when I'm on the road. It's like, how far can I go?
Vince Watson wants to know if we have any info on the Christian Jones recruitment. I read something this week. It's I think we're still in the running, but it's not like a huge percentage.
Let's see. From Omaha West Side. You
forgot who he is?
No. He's warm to us, Oklahoma, Auburn, and USC. So
that's right. It was Auburn and Oklahoma that really are the competitors, I think. They have a higher percentage. But you know what? He has teammates on our roster, so I think that works in our favor.
It can't hurt unless he didn't get along with those teammates. Fred says, serious comment. Those protective helmets, I feel like they'd be worse because of the spacing and distance they create versus the helmets they actually play in. Okay. I don't know. You flagged that one, I'm pretty sure. We're going to blame that one on Minnie.
That was not me. That was Greg and his fourth beer.
I only had 3, 44 ounces. It's fine. It's fine. Scott says, Braska Rascal says that Satterfield has a lot to prove as offensive coordinator. I think we touched on that just a few moments ago. Michael Hassman says injuries happen. You can't play scared and hold guys off of special teams out of fear of injury. Okay. But again, if we've got other warm bodies to look, we haven't exactly been adept at running back punts, the last few years anyway. So anybody can go fair catch.
No, that's not true. They played that game at the end of practice on Saturday, and it just went to show you defensive players do not do well at returning the ball. There's a reason they're on defense.
That's
so
fair.
Not anybody can do that.
Oh, perfect. Thank you. Husker Chuck says also next week, Greg finds Husker stuff for the wall behind him. I will definitely look into that. Highlander Gun says that's where a great defense is needed. If you would have only expounded on where, for context, I know that comment's only 23 minutes old, but I don't remember what the hell we were talking about back then. And Roger Moore says, groin poise. And we thank you for it. Night, Melissa, thank you so much for everything. Last one here, this one from 8:51. So this one technically was before we even started. And then he disappeared. We haven't seen Jay Chapman in here again, but Jay Chapman says Nebraska will roll UTEP. The Colorado game is going to be a barn burner. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, Husker fans of all ages, the barn burner this guy's going to be in the stadium for. Looking forward to it, September 7th. We are inside of a month now to Greg's first ever trip to Memorial Stadium. I am pumped. August can't get over soon enough. Not that I'm like trying to
Greg, enough about you.
Okay.
You know, I'm also going to be at the game.
But it's not your first Husker game at Nebraska.
As well. But every game is special. Every single game is special. It is.
But they like me more.
Greg.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding, Minnie. You're a valuable teammate.
You called me a co-host earlier.
Co-host is a teammate. We're all on the same team.
Okay. Are you looking at a thesaurus again?
No, I'm looking at the camera.
All right. Great. Don't you have to use the restroom?
It's fine. I'm a camel. Somebody said that before. So it's totally cool.
Okay.
Minnie, do you have anything else as we approach the 2.5 hour mark like I called?
Joseph Lalekis says Amir Abdullah was both RB1 and handled returns. Just saying. Ooh.
That's again.
Gregory.
That's fine. I'll if it works and I'm wrong and it works, then great. But if Emmett Johnson's back there returning a punt and gets his knee blown out,
you're gonna be like, huh.
I'll be like, I told you so. And I don't like having to say I told you so. Because when I'm right, that usually is not a good sign. The world is crumbling. You know. All right. Before we go, do you want to deep dive into Dylan's hair care products or routine? I'm sure you probably see it on TikTok every day. Instagram.
I don't know what his hair products are.
I feel like it's just shave around here and whatever the hell you can do to make me look like an alpaca, llama, whatever.
Really?
Come on, he's a goofy looking kid.
No, he isn't.
And with that, that's the end of our show. For Minnie Hunt, Minnie, thank you so much for putting up with me this and every week. I'm Greg Mahochko. You all are tremendous. You spend we're not even to the season yet. We're already going 2.5 hours. We cannot sustain this September, October, November. We're going to have to figure out how to trim the fat, so to speak. We'll figure it out. That's a story for another day. I've got to go. My eyes are turning yellow. This is the 5 Heart Podcast.
Stop talking.
I have to do the outro, Minnie.
I know. It's just long-winded.
This is what I do. All right. This is what I do every week.
This is the Midwestern goodbye.
It is. I'm so bad at it. This is the 5 Heart Podcast. CornNation.com. We remind you each and every week that 5 Heart is all the heart you need. Minnie?
Go big.
I was like, what are you doing? Are you prolonging the agony? What are you doing?